Hello, I'm Harlan. Now this is prophecy, and this is true prophecy. I'm a witness for Jesus. I'm a son of God. And basically, I'm a witness that the Bible's an idol. It's the mark of the beast. But I have visions of prophecy for end time. And this is true prophecy, not like Bible prophets that prophesied. This will be the true prophets. Okay, in 1988, in the summer of 1988, I had a vision. I was in El Paso, Texas. I shook hands with George Bush. And his finger, this finger, was cut off. This right index finger was cut off. He was out under a little shed of some kind when I shook hands with him. He was running for president against Walter Mondale, I think. Okay? That's been 25 years ago. Now, I asked the Lord and I prayed about that. I didn't understand the real significance of it until now, that these things are happening. And I said, what does that mean, Father? What does that mean about George Bush's finger being cut off? I knew he was going to be president. And he didn't run till that fall. He didn't win till that fall. And he said, it's the weakening of this nation. The weakening of America. And when America goes down, all nations go down. This is your big kahuna here, America is. Okay, George Bush started the war with Iraq. See, Iraq went into Kuwait. George Bush went in there and run them out of Kuwait and destroyed all their equipment and everything. And he's the one who started the war with the Ishmael's children. And once you start with Ishmael's children, they'll be after you forever. And so he started out with a U.S. national debt of $2 trillion. Now remember, Reagan, when Reagan went in 1980, it wasn't even $1 trillion. It was till 1982 before the debt got to be $1 trillion. 1982. Now, George Washington went in 1776, so in 1976, that was 200 years. 200 years. And they'd had 40 presidents. And Reagan came in, and then George Bush was the 41st, Clinton was 42nd, and this is 43rd, and God showed me to happen on the 44th president. So now watch what I'm telling you. When George Bush went in and started that war, then this is, I call them Bonnie and Clyde. They are the worst that's ever been. Now think about this. How did Bill Clinton get in? He only got in by one way. God sets them up. See, God removes kings and sets up kings. This is what God is doing here. I'm telling you what God is doing, a real, truthful thing. Now, Bill Clinton, he started derivatives. Him and some of his friends up there, you know, they started a thing, letting everybody, Barney Frank and them went and changed the law so at Freddie Mac and Freddie Mae, they give them people that didn't even have no money, they let them buy houses. Well, they put all the sorry loans in with some good loans and sell it to the banks in bunches. They sold some bad loans. And he's the very bird that done it, Slick Willie. And he got in a lot of money. If you notice, when he started, the national debt was $4 trillion. Okay, when he got out, it was $5.5 trillion. He spent $1.5 trillion because he run them houses up and made a lot of money come into the coffers. He was smart. He started derivatives. Their common people still don't understand what a derivative is. I understand it a little, but not like a Wall Street man will. Okay, now this is true prophecy. It's already come to pass. It's 25 years when he showed me this. Now, this is George Bush Jr., George W. Now, if his brain was in a jaybird, it'd fly backwards. How did he get in? Now, how did Slick Willie get in? Anybody that follows elections knows that Ross Perot run with George Bush on the Republican ticket. And Ross Perot took 3 or 4% of the Republican votes and let Slick Willie in. That's the only way Willie got in, and God put him in. See, God put Slick Willie in. Why did he put him in? Why did he put this one? Why did he beat Walter Mondale? Remember, Walter Mondale said, where's the beef? You know, they didn't have no. Walter Mondale had it all. He should have won. All right. The only reason Bill won was because Ross Perot run. You see what God does? He puts things in there, and Barbara Bush, his wife, said, I hope you're happy now, Ross. You cost us the election. So Bill won by a fluke. It was a glitch, or what's it called. Now, when George Bush got in, how did he get in? Do you know that Al Gore is still mad today because George Bush got in through the Supreme Court? God sets up kings. He set these dudes up. All these are all, they're nutty as a fruitcake. All of them. They ain't got no sense at all. Now, this one here started out with $5.5 trillion. That's what Bill Clinton had, $4 trillion. The national debt in 2000 was $5 trillion. Okay. When he left in 2008, it was $9 trillion, nearly $10 trillion. George Bush started a war. He wanted to start a war with Iraq. And he got in because, you remember all the clinging Chads down in Florida? That's how he got in, because God sets up kings. And he fooled him and got him in through the Supreme Court. Al Gore's still mad about that. He beat Bush by about 500,000 votes. So this is what's happening. God started in 1988 removing kings and setting up kings. He wanted the ones he wanted in there so he could get them to do crazy things. Okay. Now when Al Gore lost through the Supreme Court, he wanted to get even with Saddam that tried to kill his daddy. So he sent Colin Powell to the United Nations. Colin Powell's still mad about it. It's how dumb they were. They got Colin Powell over, an intelligent man and an honorable man in the United Nations, and he went over there and told them that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. That's what Colin Powell, Uncle Tom over lying. Bush got him to lie, see. They didn't have no weapons of mass destruction. He went over and killed about hundreds of thousands of Sunnis. It'd be like coming over here and killing the Methodists and put the Baptists in charge. Well, they went over and killed the Sunnis and put the Shiites in charge. That's why they are over there. They fight religious wars all the time. Now here comes one. This one done so bad, they said, we ain't putting no more kings in. We're going to put some slaves in. So this is a slave riding and kings are walking. See, he put Romney to walking. He put John McCain to walking. These white Republicans are just dying, these rich Republicans, because he's not in there for you and me. He's in there for his people. His people was put in slavery. He is going to make sure they get plenty of food, which is food stamps. They got public housing by the buku. And now they've got health care. How about that? And these people, this is why they're fighting in Washington right now. They know that his health care plan, when you put about 40-some million more people on health care, it's going to break the nation. That's why they got the nation closed down now. And that's why it's at 17 trillion. He started at 9 trillion, nearly 10 trillion, and now it's really 16 trillion 980 some billion. But time I get through talking, it'll probably be 17 trillion and 100 billion. So this is what God set up to destroy America, and now you're destroyed, America. You think you can get out of this debt, you'll never pay it out. It took them 200 years to get to $1 trillion. 41 presidents got it. That for 40 presidents. 41, 42, 43, and 44. Now I've been getting up every morning at 444 for about 4 years. And this is awake. America is now dead. You'll never get out of this debt. You got over 150 million people on the government payroll. Just like Romney said, 47% of the people, you can forget them. They're going to vote for Democrats because they're on food stamps and they're on entitlement stuff, and they'll vote for the Democrats because they give them on. That's why Democrats want all the people to come across the border, because they vote Democratic. Now they've got a block that the Republicans can't overcome. Now they got the House and they're fighting back, but they're not going to win, because as I told you, his finger was cut off, and that's when America started being weakened. Now this is a true word of prophecy. I'm a son of God. I don't claim to be a prophet. I'm a son of God and I'm a witness. But he gives me prophetic things. Just like he told John about that book in the book, chapter 10 of Revelation. You must prophesy about this. See, he's using me to tell people the Bible's the mark of the beast. It's an idol. And the reason you got $17 trillion right now in debt, America, and you're going to be hunting a cave pretty soon because it's coming down. The reason that's there is because you worship the Bible. You worship the Bible. And that's the reason it's there. He told me the Bible is an idol in 1970. This spring will be 44 years. It's going to happen by springtime on the 44th president. Sure as I'm standing here, it's already come to pass, most of it. And you're going to really see it after this year. In 2014 will be the big year. So watch it. because it's coming. I'm a son of God. The Bible is an idol. The Bible is the mark of the beast.